Hi everyone, my name is Effie and I'm from Google. Today, it's a great pleasure and honor to be part of the Her Power Entrepreneurship Competition 2022. And I'm more than excited to share our team's finding on post-COVID scenario and what that means to be in post-COVID period. Firstly, let's look at three macro trends. Where to play is crucial in the down run. Firstly, demands, which says high prices are thwarting consumer demands, and with profit, there are severe profit challenges for both the cross-border players and local retailers. And last but not least, China's supply that still is the robust and diverse supply with price advantages. So firstly, we see that US retail sales are losing momentum, falling almost 0.3% in May from April, and actually consumer confidence hitting a 6-month low in June. And with supporting reason that US savings rates are firstly hitting lowest level since 2008, and also consumers are using their savings to support daily spending rather than spending elsewhere. We also see that weaker income and stronger consumer debt are expressed through US real average weekly earning that is actually negative 4% year on year adjusted for inflation, while credit card balances stand $71 billion higher than a year ago. With profit, we see that cross-border players face probability challenges since 2021, which is 1 year after COVID blew up. Revenue rose less than profit drop, even for big players like Anchor, and especially with US local retailers like Amazon, Walmart shares fall as inventory eat into profits. For example, Walmart had 32% jump in inventories last quarter. And on the bright side, we see that China still holds its price advantage as US CPI increased by 8.3 year on year, while the price of imported goods increased by 12% compared with a 4.6% increase in the price of imported goods from China. And China does not only hold advantages in price, but also has a diverse supply source. Not all demand fell under the post-COVID time. For example, consumers allocate more budgets on discretionary spending, and the complex China supply can fulfill every niche needs still in the end. And what we want all of you and all of us to think, hopefully after today's sharing, is in the mid of lower overall sentiment and potential economic downturn, there's still rising opportunities to capitalize on and urgency for improvement on marketing and operational efficiency. What does that mean? Let's look into the rising opportunities. So seize rising opportunities from new post-COVID scenarios. Here is the most important part. What are the 4 new post-COVID scenarios? If there's anything to take away today, I hope this slide is what you remember. Number 1 is a new baby boom. And number 2 is going out. Number 3, self-love and sustainability. Number 4, last but not least, is financial uncertainty. So let's look into all of these in detail. Rising scenario number 1, the baby boom. We saw that US and UK's birth rates tick up in 2022 after years of steady decline, especially in the UK, causing demand for baby supplies to rise correspondingly. In the meantime, due to rising uncertainties and shrinking economic conditions, consumers are more focused on the core needs. So to start off with COVID, we saw more people staying home with more social distancing, and which means that in the years after like 2021 and 2022, there has been a new baby boom with more babies getting born. And we would actually recommend everyone to focus in the following categories: nursing and feeding, including baby and toddler food, breast pumps, breast milk storage containers, bottle warmers, and sterilizers. Secondly, health and security, including nasal aspirators, pacifiers and teethers, baby monitors, baby safety harnesses, and leashes. Thirdly, third category is baby transportation, including baby stroller and accessories, baby carrier and accessories, baby and toddler car seats and accessories. So with a deeper look at the rising trends, we saw that, especially with breast pumps, baby strollers, and toddler nutrition drinks and shakes rising from 20 to almost 50% year on year. This is actually a good evidence of how this new baby boom has tickle new consumer interests and actually reflected in their Google searches. So rising scenario number 2 is probably what all of us are thinking about, especially with the Golden Week holiday happening in China. Consumers are especially excited about spending time with loved ones. We saw that 67% of consumers are looking forward to barbecuing and eating outside, 54% looking forward to meeting family and friends, 47% looking forward to going on vacation / traveling, and 41% of consumers looking forward to conducting sports outside. Again, all of these are tightly correlated to going out and being active on the road. So what does on the road mean? It gets divided into vacation, travel, and back to office, or any terms related to these three. We saw that with many companies switching from fully remote work to on-site / hybrid. Actually, at Google too, we're in a hybrid working mode, means 2 days at home or in the office, and 3 days mandatory in the office. And the demand for traveling increases. Secondly, office occupancy remains at only 43% of pre-pandemic level and continues to rise, which means more people are going on commute. And thirdly, many countries have lifted quarantine restrictions and proof of negative PCR results, leading more demand for traveling during summertime. For example, Japan have just lifted their quarantine restrictions for foreigners to visit or travel inboard. And we saw that 53% of consumers surveyed want to go somewhere on vacation by the end of this year, or are thinking about traveling. So global searches year on year for transit stations, directions to work. Can I go to work? Parking lots near me. Oh man, these people really haven't been going to work. I can see that. Summer camp, book a flight, the best time to go have all increased, especially with transit stations rising year on year over 40,000%. Also, going out themes include getting fit outdoors because COVID made people reconsider what they want in their life and made them realize the unpredictability of things. With that being said, people have shifted to focus more on their experiences. With COVID restrictions easing around the world, people have found their ways to more outdoor sports, social events, and gatherings. And again, the wedding report expects there will be a record number of weddings in the US this year. And in Germany, we saw that interests in events gone up by 63% year on year to date in Germany in May this year. And the third theme is celebrating together, which means gathering and formal dresses. We saw that 75% of consumers indicate to plan to shop clothing for specific events in summer. We saw that the reason for going shopping or buying clothes specifically include their events coming up, but I won't buy clothes for it, or summer vacation, birthdays, parties, weddings as a guest or yourself, other occasions, including school enrollment, high school diplomas. Again, a lot of these happened online last year or the year before. And last but not least, formal business events and occasions, which are starting to happen offline more and more often. So here are three big categories and subcategories we would like to recommend to focus on. Number one is on the road, including goods for traveling like travel pouches, suitcases, luggage strands, packing organizers, luggage tags, and on the road, including motor vehicles and toll collection devices, which is mostly in the US and UK. And second category, getting fit outside, which includes sporting goods like track and field, volleyball, soccer, cheerleading, and sportswear like cleats, tennis shoes, fan gears like jerseys, hats, caps, and etc., which you obviously don't really need indoor. And the third category is celebrating together the third theme, celebrating together with categories like food equipment, including bakery boxes, disposable tableware, vending machines, and gathering clothing like traditional and ceremonial clothing, dresses, shorts, skirts, and costumes, which is a big thing for Halloween, and outdoor activities including inflatable bouncers, outdoor games, hang gliding, skydiving, power converters, generators, and last but not least, on the road, including electrical motors, vehicle maintenance, care and decor, luggages, and accessories. Actually, I pulled up my luggages last month for a business trip, and I realized it's already in the basement. I haven't used it for almost 1.5 years. Oops. And taking a deeper dive into what consumers are interested in. For example, suitcases, like I just said, suits for more business or casual meetings, and etc. Shorts for outdoor sports, and baseball gloves as an example of sportswear. So the third scenario is self-love and sustainability. I know self-love is a constant theme, but we saw that more and more people are actually being aware of their physical and mental well-being. For example, we saw that 37% of people are researching for stress, anxiety level, increased coping methods during the pandemic, and we saw that more than 46% people are getting more conscious about their mental health, and around 60% people are willing to sacrifice convenience for healthier products. On the other hand, with the political complexity going on or have been going on this year in the world, we saw that more people are aware of global issues and responsibilities. For example, 61% of people want to get more info to help make sustainable choices, like how to recycle and how to purchase recyclable products. And 70% of the global population is concerned about climate change. And an all-time high, 84% are saying that sustainability is important when making purchasing decisions. So here's a question. Is your brand or are your products including sustainability as one of the features? So what does self-love mean? More consumers are becoming more aware of their physical and mental well-being again, thus willing to spend more on themselves, especially Gen Zs and millennials. We saw that 80% increase in the US, 57% increase in the UK, and 59% increase in Brazil for healthy breakfast ideas. We recorded that 68% of workers agree that they're investing in mental health for their well-being at work, while 44% of surveyed experts indicated their company will increase spending on employee health and welfare. So the opportunity here is to help people cement their new self-care habits so they can feel their best no matter where they're working. And our marketing question for you is, how can your brand help people prioritize their well-being in everyday moments throughout the workday? And taking a deeper look at the rising sustainability consciousness, which is reflected across all categories, not limited to food and grocery, as well as beauty and personal care. We also see that it's reflected in home and garden, fashion, consumer electronics, hobbies, games, leisure, occasions, gifts, sports and fitness, and etc. All of the above mentioned categories. For example, 84% of consumers say sustainability is important when making purchase decisions, and 61% of consumers want more information to help make better sustainable choices. So here are the recommended categories to focus on or look at. With self-love, we recommend to look at personal care, which means sunscreen for face, best time to take vitamin, pedicure chairs, air purifier accessories, and medical care that includes medical tests, medicine and drugs, and also sustainability, which includes renewable energy like electric trucks, best electric cars for sale, electric bike prices, solar energy kits, and apparel like sustainable material, circular economy, and re-commerce, as well as natural beauty like waterless cosmetics. So most amount of time is going to be left to talk about rising scenario number 4, financial uncertainties. In the US, we saw that inflation accelerated to an 8.6% annual rate in May this summer, which showed its fastest pace in 41 years, causing more financial uncertainty, propensity to save, and careful spending. Over 60% of consumers have concerns about pandemic, while over 30% have concerns about prices of retail items, and almost 30% of consumers are also having concerns about personal finances. With Walmart CFO Brett Biggs saying that he was seeing consumers shifting to private labels and more concerned about consumers switching to smaller pack sizes and buying less. We also saw that there is a polarization of consumers with lower income trading down while others with high incomes are actually not. So even though there is the financial uncertainty and more consumers are getting more and more cautious about careful spending, we saw that there are actually increases in consumer interest and lifestyle under inflation, like free things to buy, which rise over 100%, and cheapest gas near me, which rise over 200%, cost of living increases, which has risen 100%, as well as cheap houses for rent, which have risen by 200% year on year. And also more consumers are getting interested in trading down. For example, cheapest countries to visit with 7,000% increase year on year, cheapest electric car with 100% increase year on year, and cheap food near me with 70% increase year on year, as well as cheap flight tickets. We see that there are two trends that coincide with previous talk about rising scenario, like electric car, which is characteristic of sustainable products, and cheap flight tickets, which talk back to the trend of the rising scenario of going out and being on the road. We also see that more consumers are interested in active saving. Keywords like buy one get free rose by 60% year on year, and promo code for existing user rose by 100% year on year. How to get a mortgage rose by 100%, and dupe rose by 40% year on year as active search words. So taking a deeper look, we saw that cheap food, resale, inflation are some of the top rising search keywords, especially with inflation that rose over 186% year on year, especially in the US. So in conclusion, consumers' buying power is getting squeezed by inflation and affecting categories from cigarettes to mattresses. And not very on the bright side, we might be seeing a possible recession on the horizon, as the Wall Street Journal experts have raised the possibility of a recession to 44% in the next 12 months. So taking a deeper look, what does this mean? What does this mean with all these financial uncertainties and a potential recession? The prices for food from home have gone up by 12% since last year in the US, and leading some customers to shift away from big ticket items in order to pay for daily needs. So for example, we see that cheap chicken in the US and smart TV US index searches do not or did not go hand in hand, with index searches for cheap chicken rising steadily from January this year to midsummer this year. And on the contrary, we saw that index searches for smart TV have fallen sharply, starting from November last year to May this year, and kept falling. So with adjusted May sales volume, we saw a slight increase in grocery stores and over 40% increase in gasoline stations, as well as 18% increase in food services and drinking places. In return, we saw that sporting, musical, bookstores, electronic appliances stores have fallen by a significant amount, and sales in department stores have also only risen by 1% compared to the rest. So with all that being said, we would like you to really think about what post-COVID situation and this potential economic downturn mean to you, your business, your target market, and your potential audience. If anything, I hope this is the one side to take away from today's sharing and today's session. To seize the rising opportunities from new post-COVID scenarios, which namely are number one, baby boom, with COVID and more people keeping social distancing and staying at home, we saw a greater number of newborn and related products, services, activities getting more active and becoming more in the focus. And number two, going out with COVID and more countries lifting up their travel policies and travel restrictions, we saw more people and consumers want to go out, be on the road, which means more social events, more outdoor sporting events, more formal or casual gatherings, and more social gatherings with friends and families. And thirdly, even though self-love and sustainability are constant themes, we saw that with COVID, more people staying home and being reflective. They're putting our consumers are putting more focus on self-love and personal well-being, which means products or services that are related to fostering self-love and personal growth are again in the spotlight. And with the complexity going in the world with nature and political situations and post-COVID situations, people are more focused on buying sustainable products and being an advocate for sustainability overall. And last but not least, the most important thing, people are becoming more cautious with the financial uncertainties happening in the world right now. So giving post-COVID situation, even though a lot of things seem to get better, but we saw that people are actually more careful in their spending and more cautious about saving, which means that on the downside, people are spending less, obviously, especially on sports, music, or smart TV, electronics, these leisure-related or non-necessity products. But on the other hand, with necessity goods and products, people are getting more interested in deals and discounts and promo codes, which could be good usage of search keywords. And so here are our findings from today and questions to ask you and your company, your friends, your coworkers, your organization is still how to realize this. To repeat, in the midst of lower overall sentiment and potential economic downturn, there's still rising opportunities to capitalize on and urgency for improvement on marketing/operational efficiency. So given that we've stated or identified the rising opportunities that we just talked about, the 5 above, how do we better or improve our urgency for marketing and operational efficiency is something I would recommend, or we hope everybody could really think about during this post-COVID period and during this and facing this potential economic downturn. So my question here to you is, do you see that there are actually more opportunities, or do you think that there is a more urgent need for improving operational efficiency? Well, I think that the answer is definitely not one-sided. Like we talked about before, even though the bigger macro environment is not the most optimistic at the moment, with the lower demand and tighter profit margin for everyone, not only in the US, in the UK, but also around the rest of the world. China still holds its advantage as a affordable price supplier and as a diverse supply market. So we would always, or we should always bear in mind the advantages we hold against other exporters in the world and other players in the market, because we are still one of the best and most robust market as suppliers. And also the diversity that China can offer not only complies to, not only accommodates during COVID time, but also post-COVID time. For example, consumers are still allocating more budget on discretionary spending, which can be fully fulfilled from China's supply end, and every niche end can be accommodated from China's supply and its diversity. So here is all of our sharing today. I would like to thank you for your time, and I would like to encourage everyone to participate in this activity and initiative, and hope you've enjoyed our sharing. Thank you. Bye-bye.